A first-rate soup is more creative than a second-rate painting. Be independent of the good opinion of other people. Dispassionate objectivity is itself a passion, for the real and for the truth. I can feel guilty about the past, apprehensive about the future, but only in the present can I act. I was awfully curious to find out why I didn't go insane. If the only tool you have is a hammer, you tend to see every problem as a nail. If you deliberately plan on being less than you are capable of being, then I warn you that you'll be unhappy for the rest of your life. If you love the truth, you'll trust it. That is, you will expect it to be good, beautiful, perfect, orderly, etc. We may define therapy as a search for value. The ability to be in the present moment is a major component of mental wellness. One's only rival is one's own potentialities. One's only failure is failing to live up to one's own possibilities. The fact is that people are good. Give people affection and security, and they will give affection and be secure in their feelings and their behavior. The good life is a process, not a state of being. It is a direction, not a destination. The story of the human race is the story of men and women selling themselves short. The key question isn't what fosters creativity, but it is why in God's name isn't everyone creative? Where was the human potential lost? The sacred is in the ordinary. It is to be found in one's daily life, in one's neighbors, friends, and family, in one's backyard. Man is a perpetually wanting animal. We are not in a position in which we have nothing to work with. We already have capacities, talents, direction, missions, callings. We fear our highest possibilities. We are generally afraid to become that which we can glimpse in our most perfect moments. What a man can be, he must be. This need we call self-actualization. What is necessary to change a person is to change his awareness of himself. A child wants some kind of undisrupted routine or rhythm. He seems to want a predictable, orderly world. A musician must make music, an artist must paint, a poet must write, if he is to be ultimately at peace with himself. All of life is education, and everybody is a teacher, and everybody is forever a pupil. Creativity is a characteristic given to all human beings at birth. If I were dropped out of a plane into the ocean and told the nearest land was 1,000 miles away, I'd still swim, and I'd despise the one who gave up. Education is learning to grow, learning what to grow toward, learning what is good and bad, learning what is desirable and undesirable, learning what to choose and what not to choose. It is vital that people count their blessings, to appreciate what they possess without having to undergo its actual loss. It seems that the necessary thing to do is not to fear mistakes, to plunge in, to do the best that one can, hoping to learn enough from blunders to correct them eventually. One can choose to go back toward safety or forward toward growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. Every person is, in part, his own project and makes himself. False optimism sooner or later means disillusionment, anger, and hopelessness. It isn't normal to know what we want. It is a rare and difficult psychological achievement. Man has his future within him, dynamically alive at this present moment. One of the goals of education should be to teach that life is precious. Quitting smoking can be a very good test of one's character. Pass the test, and you will have accomplished so much more than just get rid of one bad habit. Secrecy, censorship, dishonesty, and blocking of communication threaten all the basic needs. Self-actualizing people have a deep feeling of identification, sympathy, and affection for human beings in general. They feel kinship and connection, as if all people were members of a single family. Self-actualizing people must be what they can be. You will either step forward into growth or you will step back into safety. The emotional reaction in the peak experience has a special flavor of wonder, of awe, of reverence, of humility, and surrender before the experience as before something great. The most beautiful fate, the most wonderful good fortune that can happen to any human being is to be paid for doing that which he passionately loves to do. The human being needs a framework of values, a philosophy of life, a religion or religion surrogate to live by and understand by, in about the same sense that he needs sunlight, calcium, or love. To make the growth choice instead of the fear choice a dozen times a day is to move a dozen times a day towards self-actualization. The major motivation theories by which most men live can lead them only to depression and cynicism. The only happy people I know are the ones who are working well at something they consider important. We crave and fear becoming truly ourselves. We must understand love. We must be able to teach it, to create it, to predict it, or else the world is lost to hostility and to suspicion. The spiritual life is part of the human essence. It is a defining characteristic of human nature, without which human nature is not fully human. What is life for? Life is for you. When people appear to be something other than good and decent, it is only because they are reacting to stress, pain, or the deprivation of basic human needs such as security, love, and self-esteem.